We went to a shopping trip in Lima, and we come back home, and I went to my room and started some computer stuff. And then all of a sudden we had a knock at the door, and it was two policemen. And they come in and told us, are you the parents of Robert Hensley? I said, yeah, we are. And they said, well, he deceased at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And man, it was quite something. I fell apart right on the spot. And
investigators were here until 5:30 tonight, gathering evidence near this garage area. I'm told by people who work next door that a woman who works at the auto store tried to give the man CPR before he was rushed to the hospital and later died. We're told Hensley was walking down Main Street and ended up outside here when the officer responded. The Bureau of Criminal Investigations and the Mercer County Sheriff's Department are handling the case. It's still unclear what caused this 12-year veteran to have to shoot Hensley. And again, Hensley has been pronounced dead. For now, reporting live in Celina, Nicole Grigg, Fox 45 News.
When the police officers came and told us, you know, they didn't tell us that Bob died. They, you know, asked if we were the Hensley family and that there was something that happened over Celina, and I kept thinking Bob was in a wreck. And they didn't really let us know that he was shot or who he shot by. That's where I remember it. And I kept wondering if he's living, if he's in the hospital, but they just weren't answering any of our questions.
Yeah, I was downstairs and I actually heard a loud noise. And I guess it was Dad crashing to the floor. And I could hear mostly Mom, and she sounded frantic. And I came upstairs and they said, Bob's dead. And I think I was pretty much in shock then, because I didn't start bawling or anything. I was just mostly in shock. I just couldn't believe it happened.
I refuse to watch any video, any commercial, I mean any audio of anything. I threw all Bob's paperwork away, everything. I made it a complete blank. And I kept waiting for somebody to come and say to me, this is what happened. Well, nobody ever came. Nobody. And finally I got to the point and said, well, I got to do something else. I got to find out what happened. And so I had a little slip of paper that a guy that I used to work for at Goodyear for 30 years, when we was at the funeral, we was all standing in line there, and we had a big line of people coming by, and this guy that I worked with 30 years ago come up to me. He said, I've been associated with the city of Celina, I've been associated with the police department. Here's a phone number, you're probably going to need this. I'm like, a phone number? Okay, I stuck it in my pocket. I didn't know what was going on. But it come to the point where I didn't hear nothing from anyone. Nobody's telling me nothing. Nobody's saying anything. And like I said, I didn't watch any video or anything. I said, well, I got to find some way to find out what happened. So, and I tried some attorneys around here, and they kind of circled the wagon and said, oh, you can't do anything to Celina, you can't do anything to the policeman, we won't take the case, we'll refer you to this case to somewhere else, but we're not going to help you, essentially is what they said. And finally I said, well, the telephone number. So I went to my computer desk and dug it out of the top, and I called the number, and it was Chuck Boyd's office. Best move I ever made, man. The guy sent somebody to help me right away. They got my story, and they right away said, yes, we'll try to help you. And they did a marvelous job, man. It was fantastic. They treated Chuck Boyd and his people in his office treated us more like family than any attorney in this whole area.
We wanted to wait until a little time went by, and then we was going to get an attorney around here and find out what really happened with Bob. But like Larry said, between us talking to attorneys and Sandy, the one who worked, was in the band with him, talking to attorneys, no attorney would take the case. Not until Larry called the number for Charles Boyd, and Boyd right away, you know, send somebody like Larry said, and took the case and just treated us wonderful. Just make you feel really comfortable.
Those people didn't know us no more than a man in the moon, but they did. They treated us like real family. They kept us informed every step of the way, and that's real important, man. For somebody like me to have something like this happen, that's really important to know. And they informed me of what happened, you know. And without services like Chuck, we would have never known. All we'd have ever known was the grand jury said, well, it wasn't the officer's fault, and that would have been the end, period. And I appreciate Mr. Boyd. I really appreciate the way he handled everything. I mean everything, man. I really do.